It's been a difficult couple of weeks for Mansfield Town in terms of results. The performances have been there, but just to start with you personally, hitting a rich vein of form in recent weeks.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Obviously I was left outside and then worked my socks off to get back in there. And I've had a couple of decent games, but obviously the results haven't been there, and that's the main thing really.
Personally though, you must be pleased with some of the glimpses that you've shown, but frustrated at the same time that you've had to do it, shall we say, in a cameo role off the bench.
Yeah, I mean I think I had 3 or 4 games off the bench when we were doing really well, and I get myself back in the team, and then we don't do so well. So it's just one of those really. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself at the moment.
You've spoken to me in the past about how you don't like the tag of being a super sub, but in some ways you've had to fulfil that role at times this year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like with me and Luke, we've come off the bench a couple of times, like with the York game and the Eastport game, where we've come on at sort of 2-0 and the game's still there, and we've put the game to bed, and we need to start doing that again.
What's been behind the run of form for Mansfield Town over the last 5 games? 5 games without a win. Can you put your finger on what's maybe not quite clicking?
Not really. I think obviously Saturday we didn't have the rubber, the green. I think the Saturday before we hit the bar, one played off the line at the post. So some things aren't going for us, but we need to be maybe a little bit more ruthless and get the ball in the back of the net.
You need to kill a side off.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Saturday we had the chances to do that, and just got to make sure we do that in future.
Defensively at the back, has it been a case of sides have scored against the run of play, or do you feel you've just been unlucky?
I think maybe a mixture really. We have been unlucky at times, but sometimes obviously we make mistakes and we've got to learn from them. I think that was one of our main points. We've been strong at the back, and we've been playing good football, and we're just not getting the rub of the green, like I said.
Give us an idea as to how the changing room's feeling at the minute. There's been quite a few players go out, there's been quite a few players come in terms of loan signings. What's the feeling like?
I just think nothing's really changed. We just come in, we've got a good team spirit, and we just go to training as we do every day, work hard, and try and take that into the games.
The likes of Adam Murray, Rhys Day coming into the side, do you think they've added, shall we say, extra quality to the Stags?
Yeah, I mean Rhys' big physical presence, is there. He showed that Saturday, he won a lot of first balls, and then Adam's just a quality player at this level, and I think he'll play at a higher level. So we've got quality in the squad.
There's certainly a lot of competition for places in the squad.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's healthy, and I think we've got at least 2 players in every position. So you can't really ask for much more for that, and that's why people are chomping at the bit to get inside. This
weekend, FC Halifax, what do you make of them? What do you know about them to start with?
Well, I don't know, a bit of a good form. I think they carried it on from last year. I think they got promoted last year. So obviously they're going to be full of confidence, but like I said, we've got to stick to our own game and make sure we get goals early.
If we just take the fact that you're in the conference, they're in the lower league, you'd say that Mansfield Town are there to be shot at. Do you think it'll be that cup mentality that they'll want to take a scalp at home?
Yeah, oh definitely. We're a big side in the non-league, so we've just got to make sure we're on a game and don't let them have anything.
How important is the FA Cup to you personally?
Massively. We've got like last year was disappointing, but it's a competition to go out there and get yourself spotted as a team, as a player. So you've got to go out and enjoy it. And
a competition you'd want to take part in by starting on the pitch and not coming off the bench.
Yeah, definitely. I've had a decent run in the side now since I think it's 3 or 4 games I've started now. But yeah, hopefully I'm starting Saturday. That'd be good.
Cheers, Louis. Thank you.
What's the FA Cup been like to you past the
I was actually speaking to my dad about it. Touch wood doesn't happen this year, but every time I've played in the FA Cup I've lost. So I think it's 4 or 5 years on the trot.
Yeah.
So it's not brilliant, but hopefully I can put that to bed this year.
Yeah. The players that you'll be competing, positions for in the defence. I mean, a lot of new defenders have come in recently.
Yeah, I think they signed 3 defenders, and there was good defenders here before, so it's going to be tough. But I think that's why I'm here, just to make a bit more competition for places and hopefully keep clean sheets and win games.
The manager's put a lot of onus on keeping clean sheets, also winning the first ball. I mean, you can play at centre back and right back, so yeah. Is it a case of getting up early and making your stamp in terms of claiming that shirt here at Mansfield Town?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully I'll get a game Saturday and then just build from there. Clean sheets are obviously #1 priority here. So hopefully we can get a few of them and keep my spot.
In terms of your career, do you see this as another stepping stone? You've come from a League One side, so therefore you want to gain as much experience as you can. Where in your career do you think you are?
I'm not sure really. I've come down here to get games experience. This is a totally different step for me, coming away from my mum and dad. It's 4 hours away from where I live, so it's going to be tough. But I think it'll be good for me in my long-term career, and just see where we go from here.
Playing for a conference side now, the FA Cup starts this weekend, 4th round qualifying. What does the FA Cup mean to you?
Well, I played in the FA Cup for Brighton a couple of times, which was good. I was only young then, but I think it's a good competition. There's a lot of money in it, and hopefully we can get a few big sides if we progress far.
Halifax Town this weekend. Never heard of a place called Halifax?
I've heard of it, never been there. I know there used to be a league side, but that's all really.
I imagine it's going to be a little bit different to the South Coast. In terms of training so far this week, have you spoken much about Halifax?
I think I spoke to the assistant, he said they've got a few good players, but other than that, not really.
What's more important, do you feel, for players in the conference? Do you feel that playing in the FA Cup is an important competition, or is the league the priority?
I think obviously the league's a priority, but in the FA Cup you can play big sides. There's a lot of money in it, and if you get through to the later stages, you never know who you're going to get. And
just finally, a 3-month deal at present for you to be at Mansfield Town Football Club. You want to squeeze every last minute of that time out on the pitch, no doubt? Yeah, definitely. It's going to be tough when I'm going back to the hotel room and on my own. So I want to spend as much time on the training ground or in the gym and just keep in the thick of it, kind of thing. Brilliant, super, thank you.
Steve, what sort of made you decide to come up here in the long run? I mean, you say it's such a long way from home and sort of out of your comfort zone, as it were.
Well, I spoke to everyone at Brighton, Poirier, Charlie Otway, Tarico, and they all said it would be good for me to come up to like a big club like Mansfield, get the experience of moving away and just seeing how I cope with it.
Yeah. You mentioned Gus there. I mean, how much of an influence has he been sort of on your career so far?
Yeah, massive. He's a really good manager. Yeah. He likes to play a lot of football. That's why I've come to Mansfield as well, because he said they like to play a lot of football as well, which you don't get in the conference that often. He's massive influence.
You obviously mentioned that game against Mansfield. How impressed were you by the Stags on that day?
I think because Eastbourne, they're a hard side to break down usually, especially coming to like Mansfield. We got told to just defend and try and nick a goal. They've done that for the first 40-45 minutes, but I think the pressure told in the end when they got the first goal.
Yeah.